One of the things that in the white paper when I was interviewing different clients and campus champions, and you just hit on it there, Michelle, so maybe you can speak to this a little bit more too, but what the role that leadership plays in the process, getting buy-in from them and being able to distribute that across the organization. It sounds like you've had that in place there for quite a while there, but when you're reevaluating every year or looking at rental rates or that sort of thing, can you talk about what leadership does at your institution there?
We have been very fortunate to have our board buy-in for cost recovery. It's something that is discussed quite often. We have several active board members who are interested in that and have been known to show up in our office on a time or two, and that's fine. We share that information with them when they inquire about it. Our superintendent is on board, as is all of our assistant superintendents. They know who to direct the outside groups to should they get any calls. Principals, they like being notified and they like to know who's on their campus. So, our campuses are huge SchoolDude users because at the click of a button you can see who's supposed to be on your campus and who is not supposed to be on a campus at any given time. So, we work closely with athletics to take a look at gym space and field space. Our fine arts department, we have 2 very large performing arts centers and 3 smaller ones. We work with fine arts to make sure that those spaces are available to our community. So everybody seems to be on board.
Excellent. How did you, I'm going to go off script here again because when I hear, just like when we talked for the white paper and other things too, it makes me think of other questions. But were you involved in training of them, or is that something you have to do every year when new principals or new people come on board? Do you have to retrain them every year? Do you have a video or help documentation that you use, or is that much of a challenge, or is that something that has just been ingrained in the culture because you've been with SchoolDude for 5 or 6 years?
Well, in my department, any new administrative assistants that come on board, they do come through our office for training. So SchoolDude is part of that training as well as some other systems. Principals, they're all given access. We actually have a view-only document that Ruth and I created that's come in handy for the coaches and the custodial staff who want to know what's going on their campus, but they don't necessarily need to enter anything and certainly don't need to change anything. And we're happy to give that out.
Great. Mike, before we move on to the next one, if you can talk a little bit about the role that leadership plays in the process and getting buy-in and just touch on that.
Absolutely. A lot of what Michelle said is true for us as well. Our superintendent is heavily involved. Luckily, his office is right here in the same building as me. We talk frequently about the use of our facilities. My maintenance director is heavily involved due to the custodial support required for these events. The athletic director in our town is one of the main users in SchoolDude. He's set up as a little bit higher level than some of my regular approvals because he's got kind of his own department. Principals also are trained on the use of SchoolDude on how to approve events within their facility. So they're each responsible for approving the events that come through their individual school. And our business office also looks at these to get a sense of the money that would be potentially coming through the door. And our school board is very highly interested ever since we had published that study a little over a year ago. They have asked for regular updates, roughly quarterly, to see how the program is doing, and they were very pleased at the end of last year to get the results of what we were able to do within 1 year of making changes.
That's great to hear. I know it sounds like, in my position too, when you provide some new interesting data, then usually stakeholders, the next question is to ask for more and to get it more frequently, which is good. We want to keep them informed, so that's cool to hear.